Hey, this time on Hanging with Herky, we got something a little different for you. This here's my son, and we decided that, hey, there's not enough projects going this summer. We'd pick up another project. So this is a backyard find here in town that we got, and got this really cool project here. He's been doing some research online. So it's pretty nice little pop-up camper we got.
The 1989 Coleman Columba. Sleep 6, and we're excited to try and fix it up and use it as a family.
So there doesn't appear to be any structural problems with this thing, although we're going to find out. And we're going to dig in here, put a lot of elbow grease and upgrade it and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Eddie show you around this thing a little bit.
So right as you come inside, you got the typical kind of fold down door here, and you've got a galley, a swinging galley. We don't really anticipate doing any cooking inside the camper, so our hope would be to kind of take this out, turn it into a bench. That way just kind of increases sleeping area and seating area. We already kind of pulled the cushions out, but you can envision this is kind of where you would sit. The bench was on either side. Nice thing is you got deep storage. And then we've got our larger bed on this side. And canvas looks pretty good. It's dirty, so we're gonna do a lot of work. Just put some elbow grease in there, see if we can clean it up. There's just a few holes here on the mesh that we'll try and repair and get that back up to shape. So on this side is the smaller bed. This was really the only major issue that we found. We found a little nest of ants, but sprayed those down, swept them out, and hopefully we don't have any ongoing problems there. But everything else, pretty good. No rodents, no signs of rodents or anything like that. We plan on doing a lot of just kind of cosmetic work, paint, put a new flooring in there. We're not sure if we're going to keep these beautiful curtains, 1980s pink or something. No, we will be replacing all of those and just trying to modernize it a little bit and spruce it up a bit. So yeah, everything looks to be in pretty good shape. No signs of any water damage or leaking. Roof is in really good shape. No rot in the floor as best we can see. Dad and I have crawled under there and kind of looked at everything. Probably have to do some electrical work. Lights didn't pop on or anything, but we'll get to work on that and see what other little projects we have. So like any good respected millennial, I've done a lot of research on YouTube prior to purchase, just seeing what other people are doing and modifications and remodeling them a little bit. And one of the things that I've been intrigued by is how people have retrofitted window air conditioning units. And that's something we're gonna try and do here. Kind of the perk of a pop-up. We've done a lot of tent camping, but with one kid and one on the way very soon, we'd like to get some AC, and so that's something we're going to try and do here. There's a lot of cool videos there on YouTube that kind of explain different ways people have done it. So we're going to try our own way and bring you guys along.
Under here's where a lot of the, the mechanical stuff is. As he cranked it up and down. I can tell that the lift system seems to be functioning perfectly. No problems with that. There's actually a propane connection underneath here. Eddie doesn't have any considerations on putting propane or anything like that because they like to cook outside. So we'll be taking that out. One of the things that we did notice is that the wiring system for the car on the way over here, the tail lights didn't work or anything like that. So we're gonna have to dig into this wiring loom and see, what's the problem there. But I'm not anticipating that's a big problem. We've both got skills that we can look at that up. So underneath here, everything seems to be in good shape. Do some oiling and painting and just cleaning things up cosmetically. I think it'll be good.
So one of the things that my wife and I were really actually excited that it's a little bit of an older camper. People have accused us of being old souls. We like a little bit more of the retro. 89's really not that retro, I guess. Just a few years after I was born. But we kind of like that. The aluminum here is in really good shape. We think we can clean it up. I like the decals, kind of keep it a little bit of a classic look. We'll have to replace all of the little receivers here for the electrical. Just kind of update that, just kind of guarantee that there's no water leakage. We want to, again, repair all the wiring, keep everything. So we'll be looking on Amazon, just kind of update all of these, get those really cleaned up and in tip-top condition. So the table's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, but one of the things that we've seen in our research is what a lot of people will do is just take the hardware off, clean it up really good, and then get a brand new tabletop. So what we want to do is just get a nice solid piece of wood, lacquer it up, make it a really nice tabletop, and then put this hardware on that. So that'll be one of our projects, is to replace this table, make it kind of pop a little bit, maybe be a feature piece inside of the camper.
So we drove over here. We've probably hauled this thing about 10, 12 miles, something like that. First thing I did when I got out is just put a hand on the axle hubs and just make sure that they're not hot. Now they weren't hot, but just as a precaution, we'll be taking the axles apart and we'll be replacing the bearings and repacking them. And obviously this thing's been sitting in the mud for about 5 years is what they said. So the tires will be gone. But just want to mention that the tires were in good enough shape for us to get over here, but those will be replaced and we'll rebuild the axles totally. So this thing will be reliable when it goes up and down the road.
We did find one other treat from nature here, a little hornet's nest, empty of course. But these are the cushions for that kitchen seating area. Luckily my wife is a pretty awesome seamstress, and so we had already really looked forward to updating the upholstery and stuff and just kind of putting our touch on it here a little bit.
We did notice that the stabilizer jacks that hold the back of the camper up were really frozen and rusty. We were able to get them down. It'll be determined whether or not we just clean those up or we just go ahead and weld new ones on. They're pretty inexpensive, but you can see that we were able to get them down and they are functioning, so hopefully we'll be able to salvage them. So I hope you enjoyed our little walkthrough of our diamond in the rough.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Dad and I like projects to work on together, so we look forward to you guys joining us as we restore this little camper, make it into something that we can use for years to come.
We're gonna drag Herky over here sometime, let him check it out.
Sniff some things out.
For right now, we'll see you on the next one.